In the dusty hills of rural Texas, a boy was born into poverty, hardship, and responsibility. His name was Audie Murphy. He was small, just over 5.5 feet tall. He had a quiet voice, sad eyes, and the weight of the world on his young shoulders. Born in 1925, Audie was the seventh of 12 children. His father left, his mother died when he was just 16, and the boy, barely a teen, became the head of the household. He picked cotton, hunted for food, dropped out of school in 5th grade. He was tough not by choice, but by necessity. Then came Pearl Harbor. Audie was just 16. He tried to enlist Army, Navy, Marines, but they all said no. Too young, too small, too skinny. So he lied about his age. And finally, at 17, the U.S. Army said yes. What followed was something no one could have predicted. Murphy shipped out to North Africa in 1943, then to Sicily, then mainland Italy. He was in the thick of it, battle after battle, up the boot of Italy and into France. At first, he was just another private, but in battle, Audie became something else entirely. In Italy, he dragged a wounded comrade out of a ditch under machine gun fire. In southern France, he single-handedly took out a German machine gun nest, and then turned their own weapons on them. In another engagement, he leapt onto a burning tank destroyer, armed only with a machine gun, and held off an entire German company for over an hour, even while he was wounded, calling in artillery on his own position to save his men. He wasn't fearless, he was something rarer. He was brave despite the fear. By the end of World War II, Audie Murphy had become the most decorated U.S. soldier in American history. He earned the Medal of Honor, 2 Silver Stars, 2 Bronze Stars, the Distinguished Service Cross, and more than 33 other medals from the U.S., France, and Belgium. He was just 20 years old. When he returned home, he was greeted with parades and cheers, but inside he was still at war. Murphy suffered what we now know as PTSD, nightmares, insomnia, anxiety. But in those days, it had no name. He'd sleep with a loaded gun under his pillow. He was restless, broken, quiet. Yet again, he didn't let it define him. He wrote poetry. He became an actor, starring in over 40 films, including a movie about his own life, To Hell and Back. But he never glorified war. He hated it. He once said, "You don't ever get over it. I don't think you ever really do." Murphy became a voice for struggling veterans. Long before it was common, he spoke publicly about what combat did to the mind. He advocated for mental health support, using his pain to push for healing. In 1971, Audie Murphy died in a plane crash in Virginia. He was only 45 years old. He was buried in Arlington National Cemetery, where his grave remains one of the most visited, alongside presidents and generals. And yet in life, he had been just a poor boy from Texas, a kid who once couldn't even qualify to enlist, a child soldier in every sense, forged by poverty and fire. But through it all, through horror, heroism, and heartbreak, Audie Murphy never stopped fighting. Not just for victory, but for his men, for dignity, for understanding. His legacy lives on not just in medals or movies, but in every veteran who finds the courage to speak up, in every quiet act of bravery that never makes the headlines. Audie Murphy, the boy who had nothing, gave everything, and in doing so, became a symbol of what one's soul can do against all odds. He didn't fight for fame. He fought because someone had to, and sometimes the greatest warriors are the ones who never wanted to be.